Hi, this is Fee. I'm doing something different. I'm actually going to do some diamond painting, and I've got a list of about me tag questions that I'll talk through and chat through while I'm doing this. Now, what I've got in front of me is the Soulmates panel A of the 5 panel. This is the 30 by 50, 30 by 80, and a 30 by 100. So the A is actually 30 by 50. It is the blue one, and I got this from Paint with Diamonds. I'm actually really happy with this one. There's no oily drills that I've come across, and I've already done panels B and D. So I'm going to start, and the best way, how do I start? Where do I pick my colours? So nice clear drill field there. I tend to pick my colours based on the outer edges. So the first one that I will do, I'll go with this corner, which is it's actually the hashtag, and I'll do all the hashtags, whoops, in this group. So I have my storage containers all set up. I have the Elizabeth's storage containers with the good old dryer sheet for any static. So these, you have all the DCM numbers and the symbols. Very hard to see that. Okay. I have been watching YouTube clips on and looking at Facebook posts for people about how they do their paintings, and there's been some comments about, sorry, I've lost my spoon. Comments about using tweezers. So I've got drill penned. I've got the standard drill pen with the little rubber little grippies and a 3-placer. I have tweezers which have the angle. What I also have is not the pick-me-up pen, but I have the quick stick. So I've just started using the quick stick. Good on round, good on square. But what I do find is while I'm drilling, this piece here comes loose and swivels around. But I will rotate between all. But I'm best of all trying to work on using the tweezers, because comments are about the tweezers as how straight and how neat things are. So I'm going to be trying to work with the tweezers. I've actually lost my spoon, but what I will say is with my nails, I'm actually able to pick up or pour. So yeah. So this is 824. One thing I do have while I'm doing these pieces is I keep my inventory sheet there. Just if I know I do the picture, I'm actually working on this one. This is the A. And I just keep my inventory sheet there purely because I look at something and go, oh, I'm getting close to running out, and really it's my own sanity. Okay. So I'm going to work away at this, drill away. Hopefully I'll be able to see what I'm doing. But I'm going to go through a list about me. There's a list about me tag questions. Random questions you can answer about yourself. The first one that comes up is, what is your full name? My name's Fee. I'm not giving my full name. I'm not being stalked. Is that the best way to put that? I can't believe people put their full name on Facebook if they at sometimes, or not on Facebook but on YouTube. So there's some interesting questions, and so yeah, we'll go from there. But I will start drilling away now with the tweezers. You'll see that when I shuffle these, I've got quite a few on. I don't tend to have much that is actually, I can't shake these and get these all perfect. But with the tweezers, I am finding that I need to have the tray up and down like that. So that's quite an easy placement of that. So what I will do is this whole section that I have will do a work all the way through and do all the hashtags it is at the moment, and I'll plug away. So well, before I go through these questions, about me, I am a train controller, which is to try, I'm not a train driver, I'm a train controller. I work on the signals and setting switches for the trains to travel on and giving them the authority of going from point A to point B. I do an interesting roster. I work 2 days, 2 nights, and I'll have 5 days off. And then I'll work 2 days, 3 nights, and then I'll have 4 days off. And then I'll work 3 days, 2 nights, and have 5 days off. Unless, of course, I do what they call a shift swap, and I work in the hours of swap a day or a night shift with somebody else. My shifts are 12 and a half hours long, so they're pretty full on. And when I finish my night shift, I actually come home, and what I do is I'll grab a cup of coffee and I'll do diamond painting for about 3 hours, and then from there I will get up and go to bed and sleep. And then when I get up, I might probably do another hour or half an hour just mucking around diamond painting, and then get ready and go to work. So you see how the tweezers, I'm actually able to maneuver the diamonds a lot easier with the tweezers. So they're a lot straighter than just using one of the pens. The fun thing is of course picking them up, and every now and then you'll fling one somewhere else. So yeah, where am I in my roster at the moment? Well, I did an extra shift last night, which means I have just come off working 2 days, 3 nights plus an additional, so I've just come off six shifts of 12 and a half hours each, and the last 4 were night shifts. Love it. I enjoy night shift so much. It's unbelievable. I would rather work nighttime than daytime. But yeah, so it's good. And this job can be. So I spend most of my nights or most of my shift, I'm on a radio headset and I'm talking. So when I come home on day shift from night shift, to be able to sit for 3 hours and not talk and phase out from what I'm, from my work, this is a brilliant thing to do. So this morning I got home, I got the early knock, which means I got to finish work early. I got home before 6 a.m. this morning. Normally I get home around the 7 a.m. mark. And because this is last night was my last night of the swing and I'm not due back work till Saturday, I went to bed and slept. Normally I'd diamond paint. But what I have done is I've gone to bed, had to sleep, done a couple of things, and now it's time to do this. Now you can see here I've got one in here. With the tweezers it's pretty hard to place straight down. I've actually learnt that, and it's not really much of a learning. I can still do it that way. And see how much neater that is. So I'm really liking the tweezers. I'm not as quick, but I do like using the tweezers. You can do the checkerboard. There we go. You do the checkerboard and able to place in between. So the checkerboard is, although this is not a big example of a checkerboard, and there it goes in there. So yeah, today, I come home, I have a couple of hours sleep, I'll get up, do a couple of things, and then I am on to just diamond painting. I'll organise dinner in a little while, a few more hours from now, have dinner, and then I'll chill for the rest of the night diamond painting. I don't do much else. Before I started diamond painting, I used to just play on computer games and watch TV. So when you have 5 days off, 4 days off, that gives you a lot of free time on your hands to go and play computer games. Now I'm doing something, and I get results at the end of it, as opposed to just chilling on a couch and doing nothing really. So my YouTube channel, there's a few things that you can see on the go that I've unboxed and I'm working on. One of those is, well, I'm actually working on 2 customs. I have a round peacock, which I got from Wish. The 2 customs were from my diamond paintings. I have a peacock that I got off Wish, which is a round. I have a leopard, which I got from the local markets. I was able to walk in and make my choice and walk out of the store with it. It's a great feeling when it's a full like that. I've got this one here that I'm working, the Soulmates, and I have started my 2 customs. Obviously I've started this one, the Soulmates. I have started the peacock. Now when I first started doing the diamond painting, I was like going, I'll just work on one at a time. But one of the YouTube people that I watch, I can't remember who, turned around and said, if you're working on one piece only, you can get bored with it, or and I didn't think I could understand how you get bored with it, but I decided to work on others for the fact that this one here is the one that I was working on wholly and solely only. I decided to change and go with others because this one is just all blues and purples, and it's really nice and refreshing to go to a different diamond painting just for a change of colours. And what I call my Durban custom has greens in it. My wedding custom for my friends, there's quite a few different colours in that I don't have. The peacock is a round, so even that gives me a break from doing the squares, because the squares you've got to be a lot more precise in placing. The rounds not so precise. You're a lot quicker on the rounds. Okay. Is that it just looks like a gap there, but there's no gap there. Oh, no, there was a gap there. There's a bonus of tweezers. Squeezing together gets rid of gaps. Okay, that one and that one. It's a lot easier to move the drills when you have the tweezers. I'm not pushing down hard. I know when we use the diamond pens, I tend to push down really hard. With the tweezers, it's more a case of placing down. So yeah, so questions. Random questions that I can answer about myself. First one was my full name. Well, I'm not putting out my full name. I'd just like to be known as Fee. What does my name mean? Well, my name, I get called, I like Fee, Fiona. think it's a Gaelic name. That's what it is. So yeah, my middle name, I was given my mum's name as a middle name. Okay, so are you named after anyone? Not my first name, but my second name is after my mum. Does your name make any interesting anagrams? Oops, there we go. There's me being clumsy. A combination of my first name, my middle name, and my last name gives me a combination of using those in order, which gets close to giving me some details of my name, is Fiddle. And my ex-mother-in-law calls me Fiddle. But I don't know whether that was because I couldn't sit still and I always played with stuff, or whether because she'd actually seen my name written down. Even ignoring my middle initial, I was still F-I-D, and it was D-E-L. So there's Fiddle. I actually like that name. I don't mind being called that. That's it that I'm known by. Fiona. Yeah. And I haven't seen the mother-in-law for probably 10 years at least, I'd say. Actually, no, 3 years, when my eldest boy got married. Okay. Is that all the hashtags? Right, there's one there. I did see it. And have a quick look through. No, can't see any more hashtags. No doubt, like everybody else, I will put these away and I'll find a hashtag as soon as I pour it into container. But put that away. Okay. Next question on this list. If you had to change your first name, what would you change it to? Hang on. Next symbol, it's very faint, is the U. So if I had to change my name, what would I change it to? When I was younger, 30 years younger, probably more than 30 years younger, I had a name I'd like to be called Colleen or Colette. That was a name that I would have liked. No idea where that came from, but yeah. So that's, if I did that. Where am I from? Well, currently I live in Western Australia, Perth, a suburb of Perth, northeast, about 25 kilometres northeast of the city. Okay, I am near a park, and for people that don't live in Australia and you think kangaroos jump all over the streets, I actually live in an area where we do have kangaroos that do come down our street, which is really cool. However, the most prevalent time for kangaroos is early morning, late afternoon, sunset, sun up, which is the time when I'm driving. So you've got to be very careful of actually hitting roos that jump out of nowhere. So yeah, I live near a what's called Whiteman Park. Very, very pretty little area. Okay, just try and get that one in. Yep. So where am I that's where I'm at now. Where was I born? I was born in Kalgoorlie, which is mining town. Next question was, where did I grow up? When I was 7, 8, I moved with my mum to Esperance, which is 400 kilometres south of Kalgoorlie. So I grew up in Esperance, which is a beautiful coastal town. The waters there are absolutely amazing, stunning. However, being on the south coast, where it is, although the south coast, which is the same waters of Antarctica, so we always talk about how the fact that we are too close to Antarctica, the water is freezing. So the locals tend to only swim in summer, except, well, kids, different matter, but the adults tend to only go up in the water in summer because any other time it's so freezing cold. But it is a beautiful town, beautiful looking town, and best beaches, white sand. So yeah. Next question, what are your best characteristics? Oh, I don't think I could put a list on that, on what my best characteristics are. Characteristics. No. That's one I don't think I could answer. I don't know. I care too much about people, but that's also a good thing. So that's a good characteristics, but it's also a flaw because, yeah, when you care too much about people, they sometimes don't care back. Okay, favourite things about yourself. I suppose for me, if I'm going to do something, if I say I'm going to do something, I end up doing it. It might take me a while, but I still get to, and I do it and I achieve it. Just looking at that one there, it's still crooked. That's better. If I say I'm going to do something, I do it. And that's a really good characteristic to have, and what I really do, and a favourite thing about myself that I really do like. Next question, which of your parents are you closest to? I suppose my mum, I'm the closest to my mum. My mum lives in Esperance still. My mum and my stepfather, which is 700 kilometres from Perth, southeast of Perth, which is also where my son lives, my oldest boy lives. Okay. Which of your parents are you more like? Let's just say that my sarcasm and quick wit is both my parents. My stirring up, I do tend to stir people up a bit, and that I get from my dad. But a lot of everything else is a lot like my mum. So, yeah. Okay. Are your grandparents still married? My grandparents would be in their 90s if they were alive. But when they passed, my grandmother and my grandma and pop, they were married when my pop died. And my nana, I never met my grandfather, her husband. He died before I was born, but she never remarried again. So, yeah, could class that as they're still married, if you look at it that way. Okay. Is there any more U's? There we go. I'm actually going to have to change that lighting. My blinds, I'm just shutting my blinds because I'm now starting to get the afternoon sun, which is giving my eyes a bit too much glare. Okay. Look at that. Oh, on there, hashtag. Yeah, we always find the ones we find them, don't we? Okay, any more U's? No, no more U's. So my next one that I'm looking at doing will be the and sign. I don't know how clear those are for you. About trying to get that in the right spot. There we go. And if you heard that, that was me banging over an open container of drills. And I think I dropped about 3 on the floor. Gotta love timber floors when it comes to dropping things. If it was more than a couple, I'd be on my knees digging them out. Let's get them all off my hand. Okay. Next question. What person was important to you growing up and why? Best way to put that is not while I was growing up, but once I became an adult. My mum remarried when I was 11, and my stepfather, who I suppose I didn't get to know him until I was an adult, and then once I became an adult, he was so important to me. And yeah, it means a lot to me. Okay, now on to the ants. I'm still poking these around and getting them to line up. Tweezers did good though. I like tweezers for that. Okay. Next question on that list. What's one thing you've never revealed to your parents? I might have to skip that question. I'd like to keep it not revealed still. Both my parents may end up looking at this clip. So I'm going to skip that one. What would your parents have named you if you were the opposite gender? Seriously? No idea. No idea. I do know that my dad was the one, I think it was my dad that won out on giving me my first and my name. So I think my mum had a different name idea for me, or at least my middle name. But I think that was because my middle name is her first name. What do you call your grandparents? Well, I've already said that. I had a nana and a granddad who I never met. So that was nana and granddad. And then I had a grandma and pop. So grandma and pop were on my mum's side, and my nana and my granddad were on my dad's side. What's your best physical feature? Okay, I am over 45. If I could name a really good physical feature, I reckon I'd be doing well. Whether you get there and go, oh, low self-esteem will not bring out a good physical feature. Seriously, I don't have any good physical features as far as I'm concerned. Self-image, self-worth, that's what comes down. What's your biggest accomplishment? That's very easy one to say. My 2 sons who I am proud of. And to be able to say that you are proud of your sons that's an accomplishment. Yeah. Boys, I hope you're listening to this. Very proud of you both. Okay. What's your biggest fear? My biggest fear is I'm scared of spiders, and my biggest fear is having to, oh, yeah, I can't even say it. Yeah, spiders and situations that could arise from them. I do have another fear, which is uncontrolled fires. I love fire. I love bonfires. I love campfires, fireplaces. But uncontrolled fires scare me silly. The thought of being burnt, as I was burnt as a child, it still resonates with me now. More than 40 years ago, I still can't drive past an uncontrolled bushfire without ending up in tears. Biggest regret. Do you know what? Shouldn't have regrets. I'm in my life where I'm happy with everything where I am. So if I had a regret, what's the best way to put it? Oops, I'm now off the thing. Let's move this over. How's that? If I let me bring that up in a way. There we go. I don't regret anything that I've done. Didn't see any. If I did stuff, whatever I've done in my life has gotten me to a point where I am happy. And if you're happy with your life, you shouldn't regret anything because it's gotten you to where you are. Okay. That was just me having a look at my things to make sure I am using the right colour. Eye colour. Next question. What is your eye colour? My eyes are brown. I have been told that they do go a lovely shade of black when I'm not happy. But yeah, I've got the good old standard brown or hazelnut eyes. What inspires you? What inspires me? Love further clarification on that one. Inspires me in what way? I don't have high goals, don't have any goals at all. So get in there. You don't want to go there. Let's have another go at putting you there. So yeah, what inspires me? Nah, I can't answer that one. Some interesting questions that are like, no, I can't answer that. What has required the most courage of you in your life so far? Most courage in my life so far. I have an illness, and the having to deal with that illness, although now it is almost non-existent, the biggest courage was actually being able to get out of an environment that I was in that was never going to get me better. Oh yeah. Okay, oops. Geez, look at this. I'm actually now looking up at the camera and not all too good on the straight form of things. Whoops, put you back there. The tweezers I'm actually able to straighten things up with, which is good. And that's still not in nicely. I will say one of the posts that I've heard people say, well, it's craft. It's not meant to be absolutely perfect. Depends on how OCD you are. Okay. Favourite actor? Oh. Range of favourite actors. There's a lot of actors that I really like. It all depends on the movies they're in as well, because I like some actors based on some movies. I suppose Anthony Hopkins, I really like him. Nicolas Cage, I like him as well. Favourite actress? So we're all supposed to be called, all actors and actresses are supposed to be called actors now, but that's actress. Sandra Bullock. I really do like Sandra Bullock. Okay, and the next question. Your favourite celebrity? Oh, gosh, you get silences from me when I'm trying to contemplate what some of these an answer to these questions. Favourite celebrity? Don't have a favourite celebrity. I don't think I do. Favourite musician? I really do. I have a look at these questions. I've got questions. What is your favourite celebrity? What's your favourite musician? Who's your favourite person? Who's your favourite child? What's your favourite childhood memory? What's your favourite colour? What's your favourite cultural activity? What's your favourite drink? What's your favourite fairy tale? A lot of these change, and I don't know how to put it, but favourite musician, I like a wide range of music, so I don't have a favourite musician because at my age, you don't go with favourites. You just like what you like. Okay, there's an end and an end. Favourite colour, of course, that's an easy one for me. That's purple. Now, I'm actually going to go back to how I do my drilling. When it comes to working on colours and choosing colours, I go by what's on the outside. However, what I also like to look at is the shading. Just trying to find this. I've got to have another and here somewhere. Oh, it's just out of out there. Okay, because when you work with a diamond painting with colours that are so similar, which is what you do when you're working on big ones, because you'll have gradients of colour. I find that I will go from, say, a dark, which is like, this is an E, and I can see straight down here there's some more darks here, there's an E there. So I'd like to go from a dark to a light to a dark to a light, or from a dark print to one with white print when I actually do swap colours. Because the last one I did was a U, which was a dark square with a black, whereas I've gone with the and symbol, which has gone to having a dark colour, but it's got a white on it. By chopping and changing around like that, it also helps me find things. And I just found another hashtag right there. Get on there properly. That's better. It's really funny. From my angle, some of these look clear and straight. Yet I get up and look on the camera and I can see on the viewfinder what I'm looking at. And I'm going, oh, that one's not straight. So, okay. So the favourites, I don't really like saying favourite this, favourite that. Okay. I suppose a bit more about me. So I've said about my work. Another thing about me is travel. I have the travel bug. Trouble is, that bug I just can't seem to get rid of, but I can't make it happy either at the moment. I can't take leave. Some of the things that I've done, I love to go on cruises. I've been on a couple of cruises now. I prefer colder climates or going to places when it's a cooler time of the year for them. Dream holiday where I'd love to go is actually I'd love to go on a cruise to Antarctica. Okay, so I'll get back to that, but I'm about to change colours. So I've gone from something with a dark colour with white print. Now I'm going to go along. I'm not going to do the E, which is a dark colour. Actually I will, because that's even darker. So I'll go to the E's. Get this out of the way without spilling them this time. E's. Wish I knew where my spoon was. Oh, I just found my little magical spoon. So I got a little tiny spoon. Comes in handy. So I'll go with the dark. I've gone with the dark E. I'm going to bring that up. Keep moving the camera. Sorry, guys. Okay, so work on these. Now, if you actually look in the camera, how I can see that one, there goes another dark. Quick look around here. Just a slight difference in shading there. That's dark colour and that's the E. Where else have I got an E? Oh, there's another hashtag. Another hashtag. Oh gosh. Okay, but I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for my darker E's. And I can't see any more, which are really super dark. Hashtag. Nope, can't see any. No more E's. Dark, dark, dark. No, no. Okay, that was quick let numbers. Go to the next one along the top is the 7, which you can see is a light. So go from a dark to a light. This actually is a light colour I'm going to. So finding the lights, you know, it's easier now that I'm looking for lights. See, there's lights there, lights down here, here, down here. That's another thing I like to do is go from one colour to a totally different looking colour. Okay, there. So, holidays, yeah, I want to do a cruise from Chile, Santiago, all the way to Rio, going via Antarctica and is it Ushuaia? I think it's pronounced. There is some nice cruises down that part of the world. However, they're very expensive. My partner will not do a cruise with me. So therefore, if I do a cruise, I have to do it solo. Well, I could probably take a friend, but I wouldn't expect a friend to come on a cruise that's pricey like that. So going solo, I have to pay solo rates, which is always a little bit higher than if it was 2 people. Yes, it's less than the cost of 2 people, but as if you went as two people, your share is less. So yeah, I've got to pay a bit more. You pay a bit more to go travel solo. Comments I get about traveling solo is about getting lonely. I love traveling solo. I am accountable for myself and my own behaviour and nobody else. Getting lonely, I've been on holidays where there's best friends going out, bump into all sorts of people, but meet two people, they're going, oh, aren't you lonely? Because they've got each other for company. And I got there and went, I'm standing here, or I'm sitting here talking to you. So I'm just going from a light to a dark. I'm going to the queue now. I'm here talking to you. I'm not stuck talking to just who I'm travelling with. I can talk to whoever I like, and I can meet lots more people that way. So yeah, that's you don't get lonely. When you go on holidays, there's always someone to talk to. Okay, yeah. Okay, so there's lots of queues here, lots of queues, which is great. Okay. So yeah, I'd love to go to Antarctica. There is a, oh no, there we go. I just flung the end. There is a cruise that I would love to do with a cruise company. However, to do the trip, is $25,000 per person. I'd have to win lotto to even consider actually taking a trip like that, but it's still nice to dream. There is other cruise ships, so that's actually a really top price cruise ship. But there's other cruise ships that pay $5,000 to do a cruise like that solo. Right. That's a wildlife. Yeah, it's something I want to do, and for me, I'll do it. Eventually, I'll do it. Okay. Nudge that across. Where have I been on my holidays so far? So I haven't done a lot of travelling. I want to do lots more. My first overseas trip was a cruise from Singapore to Hong Kong. I did it solo and loved it. The cruise ship only had 600 passengers, and the funniest thing was that apparently 80% of the passengers were actually from Perth. It was a really good cruise, really good, really enjoyable. First time I'd been overseas, first time I had a real holiday because I was a single mum at the time. And amazing. So that was Singapore. I went to Koh Samui, Bangkok, I've been to Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh, what's it called? Hue, which is spelled H-U-E, and then Hong Kong. Yeah, so that was a good trip. It's where I discovered that I didn't like humidity, though. I struggled with the heat there. Ho Chi Minh was shocking in that way that I just sweated, and it was horrible. My next holiday that I had was not for another 6 or 7 years after that. It was a cruise from Copenhagen up to Norway, so at Bergen, Ellesund, across to Torshavn, Faroe Islands, Shetland Islands, so Scotland, Iceland, and then back to Oslo, Helsingborg, and then back to Copenhagen. And it was September. It was not, for me it was nice, it was cool. You know, rugged up, didn't worry me. Get off a ship, you go, you have a look around, you get taken on an excursion. When you get welcome back on the ship, there's hot chocolate and hot towels. Then you go get into a hot spa to warm up completely. Okay, oh look at those. How many of you guys watching this on OCD have OCD and going, oh look at those, they're not straight. I tell you what, if I was using the pick-me-up pen, they'd be a lot worse. Which I might actually pull that out now to demonstrate using it. Okay, so not the pick-me-up pen. I'm going to go with the quick stick. So if you look at that, can't zoom in on that to show you the end. Hang on, I'll unscrew that. So that's just, you can see it's a green goop in there. Okay. When you're using these, don't turn these too tightly. That's just a little tightness, not much. As soon as you tighten it, you're going to have goop coming out. I like this pen because I struggle with the wax. I struggle with the U-tack, the blue tack. So, just, I might angle this. I might actually lift this up. Whoops. Haha, not crooked at all, was it? Okay. So, the pen is quite easy to use. Hang on, let's get these up the right way. And it is, it's just a straight on. However, I can't seem to get these on the, you actually see it's not on there squarely. No matter what I do, I can't get it straight. But they're still easy to use. I find them easier than the other pens that with the having to replace the glue, having to deal with the wax. But okay. And this is why I prefer the tweezers. And now the quick stick, whoops, has a chiseled end which can be used to straighten up your pieces, your drills. But yeah, you can hear that you're putting pressure on, whereas with the tweezers I don't need to put any pressure on, even when I'm popping them into squares. But yet again, the speed of the quick stick as opposed to the speed of tweezers, the stick is a lot quicker. And that didn't get that in straight in fully. Just do a few more and you'll hear right now that it's not loose, but after I've placed a few drills down, these, oops, hear that rattle? So that's loosened off already, and I've only put a couple of drills down, so I'm finding that I'm having to, when I use this, is constantly screw that up, just finger tight, because if you do it too tight you're going to squeeze goop out. But okay, so after doing the tweezers for, I've been using the tweezers for a little while, I prefer the tweezers over these. However, when I am doing massive works and doing the checkerboard, I'll use the tweezers for the checkerboard, and then I'll use the quick step to fill the checkerboard in, because the tweezers have already given you good definition, good line for your drills. Oh, Q's and D's are looking too close, look too similar. Whoops, whoops, whoops. There we go. I was just hanging on by a thread. Okay, so I kind of went off track there. I went off tangent for a little while there. So on to the holidays. I could talk about my holidays forever. So after I did the cruise to Norway, my partner's sister won a trip to South Africa, and due to health, she was unable to travel there, and she offered it to my partner, her brother, and all we had to do was pay the taxes, and it was all transferred into our name. So we got a 15-day holiday to South Africa, and still to this day I don't think I could thank her enough for that trip, because oh my gosh, the things you've seen. But I've been yakking for nearly an hour on here. This square here that I'm working on will probably take me 3 hours, and I'm not going to drill and chat for that long. I'm going to stop talking. And possibly put up just a time lapse of me continuing this as opposed to talking. So if somebody wants to watch a time lapse of the work, they can. Maybe. Who knows? So yeah, thank you for watching. I'll do what everyone else says, so please like and subscribe. Put comments down. Please give me comments. If I waffle too much, if you've got suggestions on how I do things, let me know. Obviously really new to this, new to the YouTube side of things. So yeah, I will be doing reviews on some other diamond paintings, ones that I've completed. I'll put them online shortly. So yeah, so thank you, and talk to you next time. Bye.